Hey everyone, Kobe1 Kenobi 4560 recording another video. So yeah, today giving you another news update. And this is mostly about Sonic Generations for 360 and PS3. And Mary Station had a recent preview of the game on the nearly final build. So yeah, you know how IGN was talking about how they had a recent preview, but it has an embargo and they can't say anything till Monday. Well, basically, I think Mary Station, which is a Spanish website, has the same info basically, and they got to release it early. They just talk about how Speed Highway has been confirmed for the 360 and PS3 version. Also, they talk about the hub worlds a bit, to where it's kind of like the hub worlds are also like levels themselves, kind of like Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, to where before you go into a dungeon you actually have to go through like overworlds and stuff like that. And they actually play a lot like dungeons, which is kind of like what Sonic Generations is with the hub worlds. You'll go through platform-filled levels and stuff like that with alternate paths to new levels and stuff like that, which is kind of cool, actually. Pretty interesting. And then also they just talk about like the different ways, like how you can, after you play the main two acts, classic and modern Sonic acts, you'll release a friend and then they can help you out in later stages. They're kind of like tag-along characters, as I said before a long time ago, like months ago, about the 360 and PS3 versions. And then not only that, the game is also supposed to include like the originals game. It's supposed to include the original game, Sonic the Hedgehog, and it'll be like unlockable within Sonic Generations. And it kind of like confirms the, I think, rumor we heard, found like in the June demo or something like that. And there's also supposed to be many unlockables and skill upgrades, which is pretty cool. I'll go on and read some of this about the like new unlockables and stuff like that. And this is kind of spoilers a bit, actually. So I kind of like, if you don't want to hear any spoilers or anything like that, or kind of get stuff spoiled for you, then I guess you can just kind of like skip ahead or something like that. Basically what it says here is precisely this is one of the great attractions we have found in Sonic Generations. Extras and shop skills. On the former, there is a large room of collectibles at the beginning of Wasteland that serves as a selector of levels and missions. I cannot reveal what I find here, but we have already achieved with the red rings of star a prized item hidden in some of the missions in all acts of both worlds. Of course, we announced that fans cannot resist characters to unlock all this stuff. Very juicy. You'll see why in the analysts. On the other hand, next to this room is a skill shop where the points obtained from the rankings that we achieve at each level, mission, and head can purchase upgrades to our protagonists as higher speed and extra life, the classic coat, more time in the air on jumps, standing land damage, which lasts longer rings around us to lose, an initial push to start with speed, and the unlockable that most surprised us, attention to chance to play the Sonic the Hedgehog Classic Mega Drive in full. So, even the people who are playing this have so much have so much optimism and are so excited about this game that they're even considering it to be Game of the Year. So yeah, it was a Spanish website, so kind of like with the translation a bit, words kind of seemed off a bit. It probably sounded weird when I was reading it, so I totally understand, but it was like translated from Spanish. But yeah, it's pretty cool how we're going to be getting that's like just what's been going on. Like there's supposed to be skill upgrades. It kind of sounds like an RPG, kind of like with Sonic Unleashed, I guess you'd say. And then Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, probably with like extra items and stuff like that. And also a bit like Sonic and the Secret Rings, in my opinion. Just hearing like how you can withstand like falls and stuff like that, I believe. And just like a boost when you start a stage. Kind of cool. So yeah. Also have some info on like Sonic Generations achievements. So yeah, these are kind of spoilers as well. So like I said, if you don't want to hear, kind of like click off the video or just kind of like skip ahead. So it turns out that I believe of Xbox 360 achievements.org, you can click on the link in the description if you just want to read it for yourself. They found out, like I believe, more than half of the game's like 50 possible accomplishments for like the achievements, and they're pretty cool. So I will just go on and tell you some of them. There's like info on like how they're challenge acts that feature Sonic's friends, and just like talking actually to some of the friends in the game. So kind of like with the hub worlds, I guess you'd say, you can kind of talk. It kind of gives like, it kind of makes me think about Sonic Unleashed a bit. I don't know why, but I hope it's not like that, like totally like that. I mean, hub worlds are fine if they're done right. I mean, if they're kind of simple, I guess you'd say, like Super Mario Galaxy 2. I mean, hub world was alright in that game. It wasn't the best or anything like that, but it was simple and it was just like something that you didn't have to do, but you know, you had the option to do. But anyway, here are some of the achievements. The opening act, race through the first stage. That's the first one. All stages cleared. Clear Sonic Generations. Greased Lightning. Clear Green Hill Act 1 within 1 minute. Bright Star, get S rank in an act. Shooting Star, get rank S rank in 3 acts. Blazing Meteor, get S rank in 7 acts. Big Bang, get S rank in all acts. Trickster, pull off a 7 or more trick combo or 6 trick combo ending in a finishing trick. Eradicator, defeat 100 enemies. Ring King, reach the goal without dropping any of the rings you collected in Green Hill Act 1. Action Hero, perform all of Sonic's moves in Act 2. Bonds of Friendship, complete all challenge acts featuring Sonic's friends. Walkie Talkie, chat with each of Sonic's friends you have saved. Join the ranks, join the rankings, probably like a ranking system in the game. Also a 30-second test, participate in a 30-second trial. Mad Skills, get all skills. Hedgehogging, get all up. Get all collectibles. Time Attacker, play ranking attack on all stages. Red Ring Collector, get all red star rings. Halfway Point, clear half the challenge acts. Mission accomplished, clear all the challenge acts. So yeah, this is kind of a long video just with my ramblings and stuff. But yeah, it looks like basically they're going to be like challenge acts, upgradable like skills in the game, all that jazz. And you can kind of like talk to your Sonic's friends in the hub world. So that's pretty cool. But you know, just reading all this stuff, finding this stuff out, makes me a lot more excited about Sonic Generations. I mean, maybe some of the hub worlds even have references, or maybe some of the hub worlds are kind of like have similarities to other levels in Sonic series. Like they don't have to, they kind of like are in the same environment of like, you know, like if you have a City Escape hub world, it looks like City Escape, but there could be like some references to other Sonic games, which is pretty cool. So I'm just really excited about this game. Sonic Generations is looking like a great game so far, so I think you should definitely be excited, and I'm definitely excited to see what IGN has to say this Monday, so yeah. So yeah, not only that, I also got my recent Game Informer magazine talking about Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, and it just kind of talks about how like there's supposed to be new items and stuff like that, and then just like how the game's supposed to have like, it's kind of like dungeons, like the gameplay in the overworld and like the hub world is supposed to be very similar to a dungeon, and then it like sometimes actually takes hours to actually get to the true dungeon, and it just has just so much content packed into this game. So anyway, I'm just kind of showing you like the artwork and stuff like that in the game and some of the new picks. So yeah, as you can see here, the game, like it's been said before, it's supposed to resemble like Monet artwork. So as you can kind of see, it kind of has a pastel look to it, like even with the like artwork they did with the game. So a lot of people have complained about the art style and stuff like that, saying that it looks like crap and stuff like that, and that it looks like a kiddie game. Because, you know, it just looks more colorful and kind of has like that pastel look. But seriously, I think it's really pretty. And it, you know, Zelda games are about art style anyway. And it's not like Zelda, like Link looks like a baby or anything like that. But as you can see there's the Magma, some of the new characters that were confirmed for the game. Some rocks there. Then you can kind of see like how the dowsing effect works right here, to where you kind of have to like, it's kind of like a metal detector, I guess you'd say. And it replaces the compass now in this game, which is kind of interesting. And then Lizalfos are there. And we kind of have like here where you're flying, it kind of shows like Link's parachute, kind of like the Deku Leaf, to where if you want to land on an island after being dropped by one of the birds, you release the parachute. And there's some of the artwork for the Lizalfos. And see there, it just looks like pastel artwork. I've kind of dealt with pastels and in the past, and basically this game looks like it was made with pastels, and you know, there's just a lot of nice effects. And then there's Zelda right there with the bird, kind of like, you know, the winged thing and the Triforce. I think that's what that bird stands for. See here's a new world that they've kind of added. It looks like a roulette a bit. And this is where you can kind of like drop off the bird and go to this new island. There's a new creature right there. And then that's the boss that we've seen in some of the trailers. And see right there, you can kind of like, as you see right here, Link's like raising his sword to the air to kind of get power through it. And then he like sends a wave through the block. So yeah, this game, I mean, it's really cool. And here are the Guardians, to where when you get to the Silent Realm, I believe, you kind of like have to go on foot without your sword or something like that. You place your sword in like a pedestal and try to like go through the level without the Guardians catching you right there. Then just some more of the Elden Volcano. So kind of cool. And then there's a item right there. It kind of looks like a digging mitts, I believe. So yeah, but anyway, that is basically it for this news update. Just kind of wanted to show you these photos, some artwork of Girahim. Kind of pretty awesome looking. Seriously, I mean, he looks pretty legit. So anyway, that's basically it for this news update. Sorry, I kind of rambled a bit, but thank you so much for watching. Please remember to comment, like, subscribe. Stay tuned for more news updates, drawing tutorials, all that jazz. See you. Have a good day.